Today we're going to talk about the superhuman abilities of fresh garlic.
Winter is coming.
We've just had Halloween. Today we are doing fermented honey garlic. We're going to find out how it's good for you, why it's good for you, how to make it, and how delicious it is served on food. Here we go. Let's cook. It's cold and flu season, so for this week we're going to dive into honey fermented garlic. Two of nature's natural ingredients are going to help fight off all those baddies and keep your immune system nice and boosted. Why is it so good for you? Well, the antibacterial properties and the probiotic properties of honey fermented garlic help boost your immune system. But today we're going to make it mega delicious, as always, by supercharging the abilities of the garlic with local, raw, organic honey. We're going to ferment the garlic in the honey to ramp up all those abilities to boost your immune system and make it bulletproof. So to start with, we're going to take a nice clean jar and then we're going to tip our garlic into the clean jar. Now I prick the garlic cloves with a fork. This helps release the juice from the garlic to start the fermentation process. Now, as I've got a cold, I want to snack on this pretty fast, so I'm going to speed the process up by adding raw cider vinegar. This is going to boost the fermentation process. You can see the sediment in the bottle, and that's going to kickstart the fermentation. Now, I'm going to add the raw, unpasteurized honey on top of the garlic. I want to cover it by about an inch. Okay, so for the honey, it's really important it's raw, unpasteurized honey, because that is going to ferment the garlic. If it's pasteurized, the cheap stuff in the shops, that's not going to cut the mustard or the honey. So you need to buy yourself some nice raw unpasteurized honey, ideally locally, because locally bees apparently help fight off local colds and flus. And now my fermentation jar comes with a nice glass weight, link below in the description if you want these fermentation jars. If you're not using a fermentation jar, you can just simply shake the honey each day, just making sure the cloves of garlic are nicely coated with honey. Now with this fermentation jar, it comes with a nice rubber lid, and this lid allows the CO2 gas to escape from the jar but not allow oxygen back in. Nice rubber nipple, perfect for releasing gas. And if you don't have a fermentation jar like this, you can always put a normal jar, a normal lid, but you're just going to need to burp it every day. Burping is basically unscrewing the lid, releasing the gases, putting the lid back on, back into a dark cupboard, allowing the fermentation process to carry on. This has been in the cupboard for 2 weeks. Now it's fermented, the honey is a lot more liquid than when it went in. The acid from the garlic has released the honey and it's a lot more liquid. Let's dive in and give it a taste. So here we go, the moment of truth. What does it taste like? First off, in a medicinal sense, once a day or when you're feeling rough, you can just pop out a little clove. If you've got a sore throat, get a nice big spoonful of honey on there as well and just pop it in as it is. Obviously, if you're going to eat it off the spoon, don't double dip your spoon in there because all your mouth germs are going to sit in that honey, carry on fermenting, and some of the bad stuff is just going to get stronger and stronger. Nice clean spoon, in once, 1 clove of garlic, helps you feel better. All that honey helps your sore throat, fights off those baddies. If you didn't know, garlic is packed full of its own antibiotic. So if you're not doing it like this, you should still put garlic in your diet, especially this time of year when there's lots of cold and flus around. Garlic is also a great probiotic when all that acid hits your stomach. Like onions, shallots, garlic, when it hits your gut, it gives you good gut health and helps boost your immune system. And the fermentation process just boosts that natural probiotic when it gets to your stomach. The natural, unpasteurized, real deal honey is a great antioxidant. It's got antibacterial qualities, antifungal qualities. So it's great to get in your diet and then mix with garlic. It's fermented, how long can you keep it for? Well, you're going to see a foam appear on top of the glass jar, on top of the honey when it's fermenting. That's natural. That's the CO2 coming out of the garlic and going into the honey. That's natural. You can just give it a shake like that and get rid of those. I know some people who have kept honey garlic for years in their cupboard. I would say one rule, if you see any spots of mold on top there, then get rid of the whole batch. Any discoloration, it's probably quite natural because when things are bruised, they discolor. So I would say that's natural, but any mold, just discard the whole lot. You don't want to keep that.
God damn it!
But as a rule, I would say this would last as long as it takes in the cupboard, up to years and years. But naturally, it's so delicious. Why would it stay in your cupboard for a year? Let's use honey fermented garlic on food. How can you use it? Speciality, cooking with honey fermented garlic. Ideally, you do not want to heat it up, because the minute you heat up the honey and garlic, then you're going to kill all those good things in there. You're going to kill all those probiotic things, all those antibacterial properties. So ideally, you want to use food, cooked food, hot food, and then add the cold fermented garlic. If you like it spicy, and if you've seen my chili sauce video, link right here, you can put chilies in with the garlic at the beginning of the process, and you can ferment these at the same time as the garlic, and this will give you a nice spicy honey garlic to use on your food if you like it spicy. We like it spicy. So this autumnal winter time of year, one of my favourite things is a nice baked camembert. Now, if you're going to bake a camembert, you can bake it just plain as it is, but why not ramp it up and make it extra special with some honey fermented garlic? First, peel your camembert and then pop it back into the box. When I say peel it, I mean take the wrapper off. Pop it back into the wooden box, and this is going to hold the cheese together. Next, with a sharp knife, make nice score marks in the cheese, nice and deep, because we're going to skewer this full of flavour. So you want all those flavours to get right inside the cheese as it bakes. Now, I'm going to pick some rosemary stalks, kindly given to me by the neighbours. I'm going to skewer the rosemary right into the crevices of this cheese. Sounds rude, and it's not. Next up, I'm going to take some nice fatty Serrano ham and then pick off nice little bits. I'm going to push this inside the cheese. So as the cheese bakes, that fat from the Serrano ham, that smoky flavour, that's going to bake down as we cook the cheese. Now, take a nice little fingernail sized pieces of ham. I'm going to use a chopstick and just push that ham nice and deep inside the cheese as we did with the rosemary. There we go, nice and deep. Poke it in. If you want a little bit sticking out, the little bits of ham sticking out are going to get nice and crispy. Next up, we're going to take our honey fermented garlic. Now, using a nice clean fork, we're going to scoop out one of these cloves of garlic. Give it a nice shake first. Make sure those cloves of garlic are coated in the honey, because we want the honey to caramelise in the cheese as we're baking it. Now, scooping out one clove of garlic at a time, we're going to put the garlic on top of the cheese. And then once we have 3 or 4 cloves of garlic on top of the cheese, we're just going to take our fingers. Chopsticks a bit awkward with this, so just take your fingers, pick up the clove, and then push that into the cracks of the cheese like we did with the ham and the rosemary. Now you want the cloves of garlic pushed right into the cheese on this, because if they're sticking out the top, they are going to burn with the honey on top of them. So they're a little bit far out here. I pushed them further down as the cooking process went on, so the flavour went in the cheese and the garlic didn't burn. This is a nice quick one for the air fryer, so I'm just going to pop it into the air fryer, put it on 180 degrees, and then spin the dial down to 10 minutes just to bake the cheese. 10 minutes will be long enough, and look at that. It's nice and soft, and all those flavours coming out of the cheese. Now, to finish off, take a nice spoon of that fermented honey garlic and drizzle that over the top and let it run into the cracks of the cheese and down the side, just to add all that flavour. Look at that. That looks amazing. Now, taking a crispy bit of bread, I'm going to dive that straight inside that nice fondant cheese, that soft cheese, and coat it with all that flavour, all that honey garlic. Oh, just the smell of the honey, rosemary and garlic. Just so tasty. One of the things I look forward to this time of year. Next up, we're going to do a loaf of bread in the air fryer as well, so it's nice and quick. If you need a recipe, it's right here. And as that bread cools down out the air fryer, we're just going to drizzle that honey all over the top. Yes, I put cheese in this bread too. I just love cheese and honey. What a combination. Look at that. So a nice big slab of cheese in the middle, and then the bread, nice, perfect for sharing all around the outside. Just drizzling that honey all over the bread while it's hot, and then just to tear and share. Perfect. I'm so going to dunk this in my camembert. Now, as when I'm making any YouTube video, I do a bit of research about videos, and there's loads of them talking about honey fermented garlic and botulism, which is a bacteria. If you're using raw, unpasteurized honey, then the pH level should be so low, botulism, apart from infant botulism, shouldn't be an issue. Researching this, and did you know 80% of garlic
comes from China? That's why. It comes from China.
And it's also grown using lots of pesticides. It's washed in bleach quite frequently to give it that perfect white finish. And quite often, sewage is used in the growth of the garlic. So, importantly, as always, shop local, buy local, grow it yourself. Homesteading is on the increase. Making stuff out of things you've grown yourself is ever so more important in this world and time we live in. So please get good, local, quality garlic for this. And this will be the ultimate flu buster this winter. Okay, any questions, please remember to pop them in the comment and I will answer them as fast as I can. Always here for you guys. Remember, if you like the content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Really helps the channel. Subscribers are shooting up, and that's all thanks to you. So thank you so very, very much. And if you like fermentation, then you have to watch this video next. See you next time. See you in this video probably. So, and I can't say honey fermented.